that that Michael Knerr character is a versatile character who's a good supporting character that is probably going to appear in a number of other works too. I'm I'm sort of probably weaning myself off of Bit von Rheingold because he's so over the top. This will probably be the last book Bit von Rheingold will appear in for quite a number of years. If I ever use him again, it'll be with a significant lapse of time between, so that I come to him more fresh again. But Michael Knerr is someone who can be used again. I enjoy having these characters that are sort of serviceable characters that can push along plot points and help illuminate other people. But you also see a different side to Bit von Rheingold. In the three major appearances of Bit von Rheingold, his own book, Bit of Golem, in A Norwegian in the Family, especially in chapter 54, and also in this book, there are three very distinct Bit von Rheingolds. In A Bit of Golem, we see Bit von Rheingold in the first decade of the 21st century. And if that book is to be believed, Bit dies by the end of that book, which means he probably died around 05 or 06, because that was set a year or so after I wrote the book. And then in A Norwegian in the Family, we see him as a young man in real time in the 1960s, a relatively young man from about the age of 25 to 33. And then we see older versions of him, which can be justified because this is an LSD chip. That's probably not the real Bit from the future. And in this version, we see Bit von Rheingold in his heyday, sort of from the late 70s to the late 80s, when he is no longer the struggling filmmaker. He's become a billionaire. He's got the money. He's investing in things, but he's not the old guy at the end of Bit of Gold. He's not the Kane, the Citizen Kane figure yet. So each of those has sort of sketched out their own versions of Bit von Rheingold.
You know how there's oldest Bit and then there's Bit of Golem Bit in the acid trip. This one is more Carmen Miranda Bit.
Yeah.
You know, he's wearing his attire in there, which is of course hilarious, and how he'll intrude pretty much anything of a deeper nature, including poem readings, farting, and dancing.
But one of my favorite scenes, you mentioned the salon scene. Another really very well-written scene is the interrogation scene with Bit and Knerr and the Inspector and Bert Convy and Elias Walker, because Bit von Rheingold is antagonizing Bert Convy the whole time. And yet Bert Convy is also not liked by this guy called the Inspector. And so Bert Convy is sort of being bit by bit emasculated. But by the same token, Michael Knerr at the time, he's been pulled over because he's got, I think he's crossed state lines with pornography or something that Bit has in a truck that he was driving. And you get a sense of the relationship of this Michael Knerr character, who's, again, a real writer. He wrote a book called Sex Life of the Gods, his most famous work. And you get a real sense of the very loneliness of this guy, who's a real-life character, who shares some qualities with my version of him.